Hello again. It's me, Levi Whitney. Once again playing City of Heroes Homecoming. My favorite game. Well, yeah, it's up there. This and Fallout New Vegas are probably the two favorite games I've ever played. This one mostly because I just love creating characters. As my character creation, my current roster of characters, the video I just released demonstrates. And on top of that, I've made two more characters since then. One, a promise to friends, which was to make a character based off of the Maneater game. So I wound up making an electric bone shark. And the other is a character that I came up with on my drive home. The girlfriend of my sorcerer character, Cortland Simmons. The girlfriend's name is Belladonna Corvinus. She's about the most relentless goth character I have ever made. Anyway, I figured it's about time to go ahead and do a recording. Finish up the arc with Argent Justice, and hopefully get her to level 20. Now, this mission, even though it's confronting Valus, I'm not actually going to be finding him here. Instead, I have to find Valus at the rave I found out about at the last mission. This is one of the more unique maps of the game. Still using the warehouse tiling, but they modified the lighting and have included some effects to make it look like they've modified the warehouse into a rave location. The old club setting of the game, Paragon Dance Party, used a similar setup. Now, apparently, the guy that made Paragon Dance Party just uses it as storage. Got some interesting mechanics on display here. Crowds that flee the scene of a fight. Much better than what we've seen in a lot of the older missions where civilians are just running around in a panic, freaking out at every little thing. And weirdly, we're also interrupting gang members who really are just here to party. Don't worry about Argent taking a face full of bullets. She's inherited her father's resilience. Mechanics-wise, that's true, too. She's using the exact same defensive set that Ardent Protector is using. It's just that him as a tanker, his is a lot more powerful. And on top of that, he has access to powers at this level that she doesn't, which is why she still has endurance issues at this level. But at level 20, that should stop. It's one of the advantages regeneration has over willpower. You get an endurance power very early on. These are the new leaders of the Skulls. Much more business-oriented than the previous leaders, who were basically just thugs with access to the dark arts. In the original backstory, the guys didn't even realize how they had that power. Here, though, there's an implication that Velas and Chernobog actually understand their abilities, or at least how they got them. And before I started recording, I played on a couple of other characters. Most melee characters are capable of just mindlessly playing through the game. You don't have to put much thought into your strategy. Once you get one of these powers, resistance against disorient, hold, immobilize, sleep, fear, confuse, repel, knockback. Once you're able to stop all of those status effects from keeping you from fighting, you can pretty much just wade into the middle of the fight so that all of your ranged characters can hang back and fire for effect. It's very traditional MMO design. I say traditional, second generation MMO. The kind where you have the tankers, the DPS, and the support. Which in most MMOs, that's the healer. In City of Heroes, support got very interesting. Support ended up involving things like boosting defenses, boosting resistances, debilitating the enemy. Last night, my friends and I ended up fighting an archvillain. The fight was a goddamn slog. Like, one of my friends did an analysis on the enemy and found out that she didn't have much health, but her regeneration was insane. He wound up having to switch to a different character, one that could do something about that regeneration, and finally we were able to put her down, but she was even harder than the actual top dog of her faction. And the other thing about City of Heroes, none of this stuff is quick. When you get ice armor from somebody that has that as their buff set. That lasts for around 2 minutes. It's not like a lot of other games where it's like, okay, you got this buff, that's going to last you about 6 seconds. And your buffing guy needs to keep reapplying that on you every 6 seconds. That is all your buffing guy is ever going to be able to do. Don't count on him to heal you. Saw that in Secret World. I couldn't stand it. Didn't make any sense to me. It's like, wait, what? Okay, so not only is the healing chip healing, any buffs I provide are only going to last, what is this, 3 seconds? Why? And then I've got some of my friends telling me, oh, well, that's normal for games like this. I'm like, that's stupid. Of course, I look at it a little bit more like City of Heroes spoiled me. But one of the things I really like about City of Heroes, you got the buffers, they throw the buffs on the party, and then they can contribute to the rest of the fight. They don't just have to sit there constantly healing people, constantly reapplying buffs. And now the crowd flees. That's goddamn creepy. But there's the guy that I need to fight. And he's beaten. You're as strong as Valus. Maybe he does fear you after all. Where did Valus go? He went to the lab with Ada, the leader of the trolls. You have no idea how big this all is, do you? Where's the lab? There isn't a damn thing in the world you can do to me that will make me tell you that. You're right. I'm not a killer like you and your buddies. You'll never change a thing in this town if you aren't willing to kill for it. Think about it, Zero. If what you're fighting for ain't worth killing for, why bother? Not everything is about life and death. Of course it is. Everybody lives. Backbreaker reaches for a knife in his boot. And everybody dies. Knock him out. Backbreaker collapses, the knife falling out of his hand and skittering across the floor. He's unconscious. Plant your tracking beacon on Backbreaker. Now when you wake up, you're going to wonder why your pants don't feel like they're fitting right. Every time we do this mission, my friends and I joke, we're like, how does he not know that he's got a tracker? I mean, we basically just imply that the heroes just shove it up his ass. Why would they do that? Well, you gotta put it way, way up there. so that he can't get it out. And you disguise it by kicking the crap out of him a little bit before he wakes up. I'm a bit of a sadistic guy. I know. He's got pockets. It could be something in his pockets. You could say that it's something that you stuffed into his cell phone. That's the fun thing about this game. With the writing, they always knew just where to keep things ambiguous. Not everything had to be ambiguous. Like a lot of the old content, it's a lot of this. Ask about available missions. There's not much discussion. Sadly, this arc does follow a lot of that, but that's because this was built with bare bones from what the developers had originally intended. A lot of the discussions and choice, that stuff was put into the dialogue in mission. But there are some arcs, like one in Red Side, where you deal with a guy who helps you figure out an issue featuring clones of you, where you can talk with him, ask questions, and he's like, well, hang on. Give me a second. Come back to me and ask me that again. And he starts going into a better pizzazzed up explanation as to what's going on with more backstory. Alright. Now, usually when they say you might want some help on this one, they're not kidding. It's the writers warning you. You're about to fight a character that's been amped up a bit. Which is true. At this level, Valus has more than just a couple zombies. He summons an evil spirit to help him, too. He's a real dangerous guy at this level. Since we're actually fighting him, let's go with something super heroic. Oh, he's dead. Ooh, that guy caught a lot of the back elbows there. God damn, got some distance on that one. not a lot of players of this game like knockback, and I still don't know why. Well, no, I know why. It's because they're trying to maximize the damage per second. I've discussed that before, though. Those players are no fun. I have no intention of regarding them as anything else but no fun. I used to ignore Cobra Strike. I remember people telling me, oh, this has always been a high damage power. And I'm like, no, I'm fairly certain it wasn't. I'm pretty sure that for a long time there, it was a low damage power. But a high stun, like ridiculously high. Oh, there he is. Weirdest location for a boss fight in this game. Whoa! I forgot he did that. So Velas is a kind of mastermind. Summon zombies. Really could have done without him being level 20. Here we go. And down. Now I need to rescue this guy. No big deal for a scrapper. However, this does have a bit of bad coding because that guy starts chasing me. Fortunately, he's a mastermind minion. They're not as tough as most other minions, depending on the build. Come on, buddy. We're running out of time. I don't know why you slowed down. And there we have it. The defeat of the Skulls. The shutdown of their drug operation. I don't know if the Homecoming crew has any intentions of trying to complete the story. This was supposed to extend on throughout the rest of the game. Just another arc to go along with all the others. I'm sure we would have had to have dealt with the trolls. We would have had to deal with the family because they're the ones that originally made the Superadine that the Skulls were making. We would have had to deal with Velas' sister, the Morena, the woman he was talking to. She never appears throughout the rest of the game. But this was something that Paragon was working on when NCSoft shut the game down. Well, time to level up. Oh, are you kidding me? Yeah, I'm just going to do this to finish off this arc, but it's nothing special. It doesn't really add any experience. And it just shows off mechanics that I've got other characters that are already employing. So, I'm going to go ahead and stop recording here. Once again, my name is Levi Whitney. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.